The A to F report card system was something that came in 2011. It was passed into law. We had to adopt a system of evaluating schools. And while I am fully in support of some sort of report of accountability that's transparent, that's open for parents, I don't believe that the current A to F system does that very well because it is focused primarily, well, exclusively on student test scores. So there is very little credit given to our schools' emphasis of the arts programs or athletics or the things that you can't measure with a teacher, their level of compassion, their dedication, their persistence, their teamwork, and all of the other things that we do in schools to enrich the learning experience for students. And none of that's reflected in the A to F grade. It's not reflected in any of the things that are going on with tests.
And so when parents come in and they look and say, well, why is that school not doing well? Well, is it because we have bad teachers or bad administrators, or is it because we're using the wrong measuring tools? Well, if you're using the wrong measuring tools and our schools are getting poor grades because of it, well, then that creates a ripple effect within the community. Parents go, well, I don't want to send my kid to that school. I'm going to go someplace else. Money flows away from the school in property taxes and everything else. And so it has a sort of a negative spiraling effect on the school. And so you create a system that isn't conducive to improving the school. What you're really doing is you're going to drive the school further down, and that's really unfortunate because that's not what we want. Nobody, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, doesn't matter. We all want to see public education improved. High stakes testing just isn't the answer.
While some people will say that No Child Left Behind is trying to address the achievement gap between different subgroups, I think in many ways the overemphasis on high-stakes testing has exacerbated that problem and made the achievement gap even larger. Researchers from the University of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State University did a very detailed study, and with the A to F report card, it is a very strong correlation between that grade and the percent of students on free and reduced lunch. So the higher your school is in terms of percent of students free and reduced lunch, the more likelihood that you're going to have a D or F. So the A to F essentially captures the poverty level of a district.
When you go to the schools and you take a look at those schools that are performing poorly, and you go from classroom to classroom, look at the technology, look at the resources that they have, and then go to a school that's an A school, all right, where resources are there, technology is there are disparities. And so then if this child over here is in the A school and they're able to play and manipulate handheld devices that improve reading, help the children with phonetics and those kinds of things, that child, when they have those resources, are going to do better, as opposed to the child over here that those resources are not available. The high-stakes testing doesn't take any of that into consideration, and then when the school is labeled as an F school, it's like, does anybody really, or are they asking the question why? And are we then, after asking that question, directing the resources in a strategic kind of way to really make a difference?
The figure I've heard is about $16 million on an annual basis just for the administration of tests, testing contracts to different vendors to either create the technology platforms to take the tests or the paper and pencil tests. But that, to me, is small potatoes compared to the loss of time. Last year, we gave over 6,000 individual tests to the students here at our middle school. It took 18 days of instruction to administer all those tests. probably somewhere about 300 employee work hours just for the logistics of setting up the testing and counting test booklets and setting up testing rooms. And so what is that figure calculated or extrapolated out for everybody involved in testing in the state of Oklahoma? We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars probably in wasted time, wasted instructional time. What is the price you could put on disruption of learning for 4 or 5 weeks? You know, our legislature is talking, or our state school board was talking about a pay raise for teachers tied to 5 additional instructional days. Well, I can come up with a way of cutting or adding 5 instructional days simply by reducing the amount of testing, and we could gain that time back.
What can we do about high-stakes testing? What we do with any other classroom bully. Stand up to them. If you are concerned about high-stakes testing in Oklahoma, take action. Together we can stand up against high-stakes testing and get this ineffective, archaic system out of our state's public schools. Get involved and spread the word. Tell your neighbors, friends, and family about the issue of high-stakes testing. Join your local parent-teacher association and present the issue to the group. If you are a public school employee, join the Oklahoma Education Association. We also urge you to contact your legislators. At notohighstakes.com, you'll find options to call, email, and tweet your legislators about the issue. Stand up against high-stakes testing.